If you're waking up at 2, 3, sometimes 4 in the morning and you have no idea why, before you blame stress, before you blame your mattress, before you blame just getting older, I want you to think about what you ate last night. Because there are 3 specific foods that, if you eat them after 6 p.m., are quietly working against your sleep for hours after you've gone to bed. Not because they keep you awake right away, that's the trap. They let you fall asleep just fine. Then they wreck the second half of the night. I'll go through all 3, why they do this specifically as we age, and what to eat instead, so you're not just cutting things out with nothing to replace them. The second half of the night, curiosity about mechanism. Here's something that doesn't get talked about enough. Sleep doesn't just get lighter as we age by coincidence. Several real physical things are happening at the same time. Deep sleep, the stage where your body actually repairs itself, naturally shrinks as a percentage of total sleep with age. Your body also becomes more sensitive to blood sugar swings overnight, and your digestion slows down, meaning food sits in your system longer before bed than it used to at 30 or 40. That combination means the same meal that never bothered you a decade ago can now sit in your stomach at 11 p.m., spike your blood sugar at 1 a.m., or dehydrate you by 3 a.m. And every one of those things pulls you out of deep sleep without you ever consciously waking up enough to notice why. So if your body has changed, why would your evening habits stay exactly the same as they were 20 years ago? Let's start with the one almost everyone underestimates: sugary desserts and sweets after dinner. That bowl of ice cream, that slice of cake, even just a little chocolate, it feels harmless because it doesn't keep you tossing and turning right away. You fall asleep fine. That's exactly the problem. Here's what's actually happening. Refined sugar causes a sharp rise in blood glucose, followed by an equally sharp drop a few hours later. For a lot of people over 60, that drop happens right in the middle of the night, usually somewhere between 1 and 4 a.m. When blood sugar drops too fast, your body releases stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline to bring it back up. Those are the exact hormones that are supposed to be at their lowest while you sleep. Instead, they spike, and you either wake up outright or drift into a lighter, more fragmented sleep for the rest of the night, without ever fully realizing why. Think of it like a car running out of gas on the highway at 2 a.m., and the engine has to jolt back to life to keep from stalling completely. That jolt is what's happening inside you, quietly, while you think you're just not sleeping well anymore. And I know how frustrating that is, doing everything right, going to bed at a reasonable hour, and still waking up exhausted for a reason you never would have guessed. The second one is high sodium, processed food, things like canned soups, deli meats, frozen dinners, and salty snacks eaten in the evening. Sodium's relationship with sleep changes noticeably as we age, mostly because of how the kidneys and bladder work later in life. A high sodium meal late in the day makes your body hold on to extra water to balance out the salt. For younger people, the kidneys process that fairly efficiently overnight. But kidney function naturally becomes somewhat less efficient with age, meaning that extra fluid tends to get processed later, often right in the middle of the night, which is a big part of why so many seniors report multiple bathroom trips after 1 a.m. that they didn't used to have. It's not just inconvenient. Every time you fully wake up to get out of bed, your brain has to restart the sleep cycle from a lighter stage. Do that 2 or 3 times a night, and you never actually reach enough deep, restorative sleep, even if your total hours in bed look normal on paper. This is why some people can sleep a full 8 hours and still wake up feeling like they got 4. It's not about how long you're in bed, it's about how many times that cycle gets interrupted. This is the one that surprises people the most, because it feels like the opposite should be true. A glass of wine or a drink in the evening genuinely does make most people fall asleep faster. That part isn't in your head. Alcohol is a sedative, it slows down brain activity, and that's exactly why it feels relaxing before bed. But here's what almost nobody explains. As your body metabolizes that alcohol, over the next few hours, it produces a rebound effect. Around the 3 to 4 hour mark, your nervous system swings the other way, toward more alertness, not less. This is exactly why so many people fall asleep easily after a drink, only to wake up wide awake at 2 or 3 a.m., wired, unable to fall back asleep, with no idea why. And this rebound effect tends to get stronger with age, because the liver processes alcohol more slowly than it used to, which means that wake-up swing often lands right in the deepest part of the night instead of near morning when it would matter less. Picture it like a pendulum. The harder alcohol pushes you towards sleep early on, the harder it swings back toward wakefulness a few hours later. It's the same motion, just delayed. Emotional beat, reassurance, not restriction shaming. This isn't about never having a drink again. It's about understanding what that drink is actually doing several hours later, so you can make the call for yourself with the full picture. Now let's talk about what actually works, because cutting things out without a replacement never lasts. If you want something in the evening, reach for foods that support steady blood sugar and gentle sleep chemistry instead of spiking it. A small handful of almonds or walnuts works well. They contain magnesium, which plays a direct role in relaxing the nervous system and is something a lot of people become mildly deficient in as they age. A banana with a small amount of natural peanut butter is another good option. It has enough natural sugar to satisfy a craving, but paired with fat and protein that slows the absorption instead of spiking it the way a dessert would. If you want something warm, a small cup of tart cherry juice or chamomile tea about an hour before bed is a solid choice. Tart cherries are one of the few natural food sources of melatonin, the hormone your body already uses to regulate sleep, and production of that hormone naturally declines somewhat with age. The general rule: smaller portion, lower sugar, lower sodium, and nothing that asks your liver or kidneys to do heavy overnight work while you're trying to rest. Here's a piece that ties everything together. It's not only what you eat after 6 p.m., it's how close to bedtime you eat it. Digestion slows with age, which means a meal eaten at 8 p.m. for someone in their 60s or 70s is often still actively being processed at 10 or 11 p.m., right as you're trying to fall asleep. That's your body dividing its resources between digesting and trying to wind down for rest. Two processes that don't work well running at the same time. A simple guideline: try to finish your last real meal at least 3 hours before bed. And if you do want a light snack after that, keep it small and simple. One of the options we just covered, not a second meal. Your body will thank you for giving it a clear job to do, either digest or rest, instead of asking it to do both at once, half-heartedly, for hours. I want to be fair here. Food is one piece of the sleep puzzle, not the whole thing. Screen light in the 2 hours before bed, room temperature, and consistent wake-up times all matter too. But food is the piece most people overlook completely, because the effects show up hours later, disconnected from the moment you ate. It's easy to blame getting older for broken sleep, when really, for a lot of people, 3 specific evening habits are doing more damage than age itself ever would on its own. If you've made changes to your evening food and you're still consistently waking up multiple times a night after a few weeks of trying this, that's worth mentioning to your doctor. Not because something is necessarily wrong, but because ruling out other causes, like sleep apnea or a medication side effect, gives you real answers instead of more guessing. So let's bring this all the way back to where we started. It was never really about getting older and just having to accept worse sleep. Sugar spikes and crashes your blood sugar in the middle of the night. Sodium keeps your kidneys working overtime while you should be resting. And alcohol relaxes you early, then wakes your nervous system back up a few hours later, right when you need it quiet the most. 3 specific fixable habits, not a mystery, and not something you just have to live with. If this explains something you've been dealing with for a while without knowing why, subscribe, because next week I'm covering the 3 morning habits that are quietly draining your energy by 2 p.m. and how they connect directly to what we just talked about tonight. And if you've noticed you sleep worse after any of these 3 specific foods, tell me which one surprised you most in the comments. I read every single one, and it helps me know exactly what to cover next. Your sleep isn't broken. It's just responding to a few habits that are easier to fix than you think. Change the evening, and you change the night. I'll see you in the next one. This is part of our Sleep Problems After 60 series. Make sure you watch the other videos in this series for more effective tips and solutions to improve your sleep. For more information on different health conditions, visit our website, www.healthabulous.com.